ahead and get going. I think everybody knows my name, but I'll just do it real quick for the record. Joseph, Joseph, Chacon, Chacon. I'm the interim chief of police for the Austin Police Department. I want to just introduce a few of the folks that are around me. We have Assistant City Manager Ray Arellano is here. There are members of the city legal staff, as well as members of our command and executive staff and the investigative team from the Austin Police Department that's investigating this incident. I want to just give you an update on what happened this evening and as much information as I can provide regarding this incident so that everyone has an idea of what happened this evening. This is very early preliminary in this investigation. So the information that I have right now, I just want to qualify it as being preliminary, but this is what we know so far. At approximately 12:03 a.m. this morning, we received a 911 call that came in, and ultimately officers were dispatched on what we refer to as a gun hotshot call, which is our highest priority level call. The call came in with the caller stating that they were in a vehicle and they were being shot at. At 12:03 a.m., at the same time, the call is placed in the queue, and the first officer immediately was assigned to respond to that call. At 12:04 a.m., dispatch received information that the caller's vehicle was actually traveling in this area, and as they were turning on different streets, the suspect vehicle continued to follow them and continued to shoot at them. At 12:05 a.m., the first Austin officer arrived on scene, and this was a two-officer unit. So there was an officer driving and then an officer in the passenger seat, and saw a vehicle very close to where we're standing right now, just north of the frontage road, and upon making contact with the occupant of the vehicle, determined that this was the victim in our shooting case. We determined that the victim had not been injured. The victim gave a description of the vehicle that was involved in the shooting, and directed officers to which way that vehicle had headed. As officers began heading in that direction, they observed the vehicle, which was on the frontage road in approximately the 6300 block of East US Highway 290 westbound on the frontage road. At 12:07 a.m., the officer turned heading westbound on the frontage road and got behind the suspect vehicle with their lights on. As officers stopped the vehicle and began to exit the vehicle, they immediately took gunfire from the suspect. Both officers returned fire at the suspect, and the suspect was shot. One of our officers was also shot and suffered a non-life-threatening wound that he is at the hospital being treated for and undergoing surgery at this time. As I said, the suspect was also injured by gunfire, and immediately upon firing and when the shots stopped, our officers called out that shots had been fired and started EMS to the scene to treat both our officer and the suspect. So as I said, this case is still under investigation right now. It's very preliminary. We are trying to determine why this happened in the first place. We don't know the relationship, if any, between the original victim who was being followed and shot at and our suspect. But I'll just tell you a little bit about the suspect is described as a Hispanic male. He is in his late 20s or early 30s. We do not have positive identification on him right now. but my understanding is that he is at the hospital undergoing surgery as well. Our officers are, well, let me first say that this incident was captured on both officers' body-worn cameras, as well as the in-car camera in the vehicle. So there is very good video of this incident, and I'll just tell you that after having watched all of that video, it's chilling. And we are lucky right now that we do not have more people that are injured, particularly our officers who, in the face of this danger, displayed bravery. And I'm very glad that the officer is not injured worse than he is, but I think this is emblematic of the issues that I've been talking about for the last several days about gun crime that is happening here in the city of Austin, and why we are working on a violent crime initiative. And I will be rolling that out with more information in the next week to talk about the things that we're going to be doing. But it is highly concerning to me that we have these type of incidents and people shooting at officers. We need to get this under control. So that's what we're going to be working on. The officers involved, one is a 2.5-year veteran of our department, and the other one has just over 1 year on our department. As is normal protocol for these type of incidents, the officers will be placed on administrative leave pending the investigations that are going to be occurring. There are 2 concurrent investigations that will be conducted. The first is a criminal investigation that is conducted by our Special Investigation Unit in coordination with the District Attorney's Office for the criminal portion of this incident. There will also be an administrative investigation into the officer's actions. That is conducted by our Internal Affairs Unit, and those investigators are out here as well. And that is done in coordination with our Office of Police Oversight. At this point, that's about as much information as I have, but I will take a few questions if there are questions.
What type of car was the suspect driving?
The vehicle is a pickup truck. I don't have the information, any more information than that.
Can you say the condition of the suspect in terms of the injuries, were they life-threatening at all?
For the suspect, you said?
For the suspect.
I believe they are life-threatening, but my understanding at the moment is that he is stable.
Did the victim have any reason to believe, why they were shooting at them? Or did they know them at all?
I don't have the answers to that right now. We are currently interviewing that person, and that's part of the ongoing investigation.
Have officers looked at any of the crime scenes anywhere else, or is this the only one you have?
We have multiple crime scenes, really, when you think about it, because we had a vehicle that was being chased and was being shot at. So we will have to determine the route that occurred to make sure that we didn't have other people that might have been injured or where those shots might have gone. With regard to the officer-involved shooting, this is our lone crime scene.
What kind of gun was the suspect using to fire at the officer?
That's part of the ongoing investigation. I don't have that information right now.
Where on his body was the suspect shot?
I don't have that information right now.
And do you know what type of charges he might be facing?
It could be attempted capital murder. He's shooting at the officers. I think that, we have an officer that's in a marked vehicle with his lights on, in a uniform, and it's pretty clear that this is the police. And so I think that is a charge that they could be looking at.
Do you have a description of the victim who was originally chased? Age, gender, things like that?
I do not.
Was the victim not alone?
I
believe so, but I don't know for sure.
The officer that was injured, is he the little over 1 year officer or the 2 year veteran?
That is the 2.5-year veteran.
Do you know which hospital the suspect and the victim were transported to?
Yeah, we don't typically release that information. Thank you all very much. I appreciate everybody being here.
Can you give Spanish sound or have anyone available to give Spanish sound?
I can do it.
Okay, well, we can do it after everyone gets their mics if you guys
Okay.
want to clear out. Start with your name.
Sí, yo me llamo Ricardo Bajardo, jefe de asistente con el Departamento de Policía de Austin.
Okay, whenever you're ready.
Okay. Aquí estamos esta noche. Recibimos una llamada de 911 de un víctima que llamó la 911 pidiendo ayuda de nosotros, de la policía, diciendo que alguien estaba tirando balazos al carro que estaba adentro. Cuando llegaron la policía, hallaron el víctima de ese asalto agravado y ese víctima apuntó a dónde estaba el sospechoso. Los dos oficiales que estaban en el carro, en la patrulla, hallaron el sospechoso, trataron a parar ese sospechoso. Cuando lo pararon, salió de la troca de él y empezó a tirar balazos a los policías también. Los dos oficiales que estaban en la patrulla también dispararon al sospechoso y uno de los oficiales que estaba manejando la patrulla estaba herido en su cuerpo y también el sospechoso estaba herido también de balazos.
Thank you. No preguntas.
No,
Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you